I've got some news about the CamSnap 2 on August the 2nd. The price is gonna go up. Right now there's an introductory price, and the other piece of news is that everything should be back in stock. I know a lot of the popular transparent colors were out of stock there for a little bit. I just double checked and they are there right now. I've got a link down below and also in the comments. That link will automatically get you a little bit of a discount. Okay, now let's get into the video. I carry this with me all the time. I mean, even in my pocket like this. I made a video about the different filters on this and I was wrong about one of them. I thought that standard was the best looking one. We'll talk about that in this video and then some other little tips and tricks to get the most out of this cute little screen-free camera. I've been shooting with mine every day. We're also in a heat wave right now, so I'm gonna go inside. So I've been using this for 3 weeks now and I've picked up a couple tips along the way. So before you purchase this, you're gonna wanna know this, or if it's just arrived and you're opening it up for the first time. One of the issues is the viewfinder. Now, originally I thought it was great that it is in the center, and I still do think that it is good, but I'm noticing that I'm tilting it a bit to, I guess, get it out of the way of my nose. And so a lot of my images are a little bit crooked. So in fact, what I've been doing is really steadying my arms, holding it here like this, then kind of bending my head to the viewfinder a bit, and then hopefully getting a more leveled off shot. So I hope that it helps out somebody. The other thing is there was a question about the viewfinder itself. Someone said that theirs was very blurry and if I could see if mine was the same. And you know what? Mine is very blurry. Now, the only thing that I can liken this to is when, you know, you're getting your eyes tested. I mean, maybe you have perfect vision and this doesn't happen to you, but I have an astigmatism. So my eyes without glasses or contact lenses, everything is just a little bit blurry. And that is exactly what this looks like too. Like, this is not a high quality viewfinder. I kind of just use it as a sort of general guide. And then sometimes I just back my head away and then take the picture. Like, I don't fixate too much on the image that I'm getting out of here, but absolutely, yes, it is a bit blurry. That's just how it is. This is an inexpensive, fun camera. And hey, listen, I've got a Canon PowerShot V1, which is one of their newer cameras, and it doesn't have any viewfinder on it at all. So I would still say that a viewfinder is better than no viewfinder. My other CamSnap 2 tip is be mindful of where you're putting it because it is actually very slender. 15% slenderer than the original CamSnap. You can put it into pretty much any pocket. You can slip it into all kinds of small spaces. But if there's a lot of dust in your pockets, like, there is no lens cap on this. So if you have like a dusty pocket that had a bunch of tissues in it, for example, this lens, this viewfinder, and the flash will be completely coated in tissue dust. So just keep that in mind, and I learned that the hard way. This is a little outdoor crossbody pouch that I pop mine into, and as you can see in here, I often have like a spare tissue because I suffer from allergies. And then I found that popping this in here was not a good mix, but because this is so slim and there's this nice little exterior pocket that is so skinny, yet somehow still completely holds the CamSnap 2. And so I'll put that in there and then I'll put my phone in the bigger pocket and then off I go. Not so much Kleenex tissue dust. This will not be the easiest lens to clean off. It actually goes in quite deeply there, and then you don't want to smudge it with a fingerprint or anything like that. Your kids are not going to notice, nor will they care. But if you do, just something to know. Okay, another thing to keep in mind for the CamSnap 2 is that it is not an iPhone. You cannot get as up close if you want to take photos of flowers, of pets. You can't just get right up as you would with an iPhone and expect it to take a really crystal clear in focus photo. It doesn't do that. I don't think there's an official minimum focusing distance listed for this camera, but in my experience, it seems to be probably a couple feet. I mean, I think I've seen on Reddit that you can get up to like 20 inches from something, and I think I tried that and those photos didn't look so great. I mean, they weren't terrible, but like you're risking not getting the shot. So you'll have to maybe step back a bit, or, you know, if you do have your smartphone with you, I hate to say it, but if you want a close-up shot of a flower, which is something that I often do because I paint a lot of flowers, this camera is about capturing atmosphere. It's not gonna be able to do anything kind of macro. And if you don't have any idea of what I just said means, it just means that you can't get up really close to things to take pictures. They will be blurry. And if you remember the original disposable cameras and even film cameras where they had no screen and you didn't know what you were capturing, you did learn pretty quickly that a lot of your photos came back really blurry because you were too close, so it's the same kind of idea. Something I was wrong about with the Cam Snap 2, and I will readily admit this, is that I really did think standard was the prettiest looking filter, but it seems I'm in the minority. I've asked a bunch of my friends about what they think the prettiest of these filters is, and they think it's analog. They think the analog one looks the most like the 90s. It just has that nostalgic quality to it. If you want to find the analog filter, forgive the noise in the background, that's my washing machine going. It's the last one on here. So that's why I wanted to point it out, because it can be a little easy to overlook once you've gone to like black and white by going through all the filters, which you do by pressing this button here in the back, holding it until it says F1, and it can be a little tricky to get in there, so just don't give up too quickly. You'll go through all the different filters until you get to the one that says A. There's such a tiny little A there. It's the easiest thing to miss, and that is analog, and that just makes the best photos according to everybody else. I said I like the standard, but everyone's thinking that the analog filter is the most nostalgic. One of my criticisms, in fact, of this camera is that there are too many vintage filters. You just don't need that many. I think it makes it complicated, and I don't really prefer any of them. So I think now maybe analog is my favorite, followed by standard. I admit I was influenced by my friends. So I'm just gonna show you some analog photos that I took here, and you're gonna have to tell me if you like these. I think that they have that really nostalgic, warm vibe. Okay, I am back at my desk, and listen, I'm nearly expired from heat stroke. I hope that you appreciate me going out and grabbing these photos, but I found that it is a very, very sunny day. It's hot. The cool thing is that the Cam Snap's not going to overheat. There's very little in it that is going to make it hot like a screen, but the brightness may be a factor. I actually don't think that this may be one of your best filters if it's very, very bright. I still think standard is probably going to do better. Black and white will be nice too, but I just took one of the sidewalk that was just bright and overexposed. Then I forced my husband out into the searing heat to take a couple of photos of me in the backyard. I took a selfie to test what that looked like. The sky looks really pretty in this, and here's something that I realized though. I thought that this was a 90s vibe, and I'm like, I've seen this before, and it's not exactly the 90s. So let me show you what I dug up, and you're gonna maybe get a chuckle out of this. I think that this look is actually more late 70s, early 80s. Let me show you why. I dragged up some photographs from my youth in the late 70s and early 80s, and this analog filter looks so much like the colors from back then. This was apparently August 1981, so you can have a look there. I'd say that these color tones are quite similar. And then here's one of me at Disney World. I'm gonna guess that this is around 1980. Similar vibe, am I right? Here's a hilarious one of me, also a bit overexposed, as you can see there. Why did my parents keep this photo? You can barely see me at all in there, but anyway. And then here's another one. I guess I'm a little bit older, unclear. I guess it was sunny because I've got all my sun gear on. There's me at the park and my stroller and everything. So these to me actually look a lot like the analog filter. So it's not 90s. I would say actually it's like late 70s, early 80s. And these are not Polaroids. These are just film of some sort. Let's see if it says. These all very faintly say on the back, this paper is manufactured by Kodak. So it's Kodak paper from, a million years ago, basically. I never said we were photographers in my family. I'm not great at describing color grading and color profiles. So if you are good at that, drop us a note and tell us why this looks the way that it does down below, because I'd be curious to know what the official terminology for this look is. If you want a Cam Snap 2, I do have a link that'll also pop in the comments. That will automatically take a little bit of money off when you're about to check out. And so yeah, Cam Snap 2, I'm still loving it a few weeks later, and I'm excited to take more photos with it as the summer goes on. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, and drop me a comment. We'll see you in the next video.